King Kong, the iconic giant gorilla of American cinema, has fascinated audiences for decades. Since its debut in the 1933 film directed by Merian C. and Ernest B. Schoedsack, Kong has become a cultural sensation, inspiring countless sequels, reboots, and spin-offs. Despite this, you might be surprised to hear that there's a surprising amount of Kong lost media. These are works that are out of reach from the general public for a variety of reasons, such as destruction, neglect, or just hiding in plain sight. In Kong's case, lost media can take many forms, like deleted scenes, or even entire films or TV episodes that remain elusive to fans and collectors alike. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. These are some of the most elusive cases of King Kong lost media. King Kong 1933 Spider Pit Scene. One of the most iconic instances of Kong lost media is the Spider Pit scene. In this specific scene, after being knocked off a log by Kong, the surviving human crew members are attacked by various creatures. The director, Merian C. decided to cut it from subsequent screenings, as it disrupted the flow of the story, and there was an urban legend that it scared audience members, but that's actually not true. You see, back in those days, before bonus features were really a thing, filmmakers would just destroy deleted scenes without a second thought, because who cares? Who would ever want to see this? So, as a result, the Spider Pit scene was considered to be lost media for years. This still frame right here was apparently the only surviving remnant of the scene. However, it turns out that the Spider Pit scene never actually existed. The scene did appear in the script and the film's novelization, but any evidence that the sequence was actually shot does not exist. Legendary filmmaker Peter Jackson would eventually go on to reconstruct the scene, even going as far as to recreate the look of the 1933 film and use stop-motion effects in the same vein as Willis O'Brien. There's an in-depth documentary that goes over the making of for the specific scene, and it's on the 2-disc King Kong DVD release. I highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in learning more about Jackson's take on the scene. So, despite what a lot of people believe, the Spider Pit scene is not lost media because it never actually existed in the first place. King Kong 1933 Miscellaneous Deleted Scenes. Beyond the infamous Spider Pit scene, there are some deleted scenes from the 1933 King Kong film that were actually shot but scrapped. These deleted scenes include a Styracosaur chasing the crew onto a log, and another scene includes a battle between King Kong and 3 Triceratops. There are some extended sequences and various shots that were removed. Like, for example, there's this shot of King Kong falling off the Empire State Building, and we see it from up above. The reason this was cut was because you can see right through King Kong, and it just did not look good. There's also another extended sequence where we actually see more of King Kong's lair as Jack helps Anne escape. These scenes have yet to be found, so as of right now, they're considered to be lost media. Wasei, Kingu, Kongu, 1933. In 1933, a film titled Wasei, Kingu, Kongu was released in Japan. Many believe that this is one of the very first Japanese monster movies, predating the first Godzilla film by 21 years. But ironically enough, the film's plot doesn't actually feature a giant monster or a giant gorilla. Instead, it's about a man that puts on a King Kong stage act in order to try and make money to impress his girlfriend. It was a comedy, and unfortunately, it's believed by many film historians that the film was one of the many films that were destroyed in the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki near the end of World War II. As a result, the film is considered to be lost media. Wait, are you tired of feeling like your online privacy is as secure as a post-it note on a busy street? Picture this. Browsing the internet without protection is like traveling with a see-through backpack. Everyone can see where you keep your wallet. But fear not, because today's video is sponsored by Private Internet Access, your virtual bodyguard in the digital world. So, What exactly is a VPN? Well, it's a lot like a cloak of invisibility for your internet connection. With private internet access, your IP address is hidden and your online activity is encrypted through a secure tunnel, shielding you from prying eyes and data thieves. Think about those public Wi-Fi networks at airports or coffee shops. They're a goldmine for hackers lurking in the shadows, ready to snatch your personal data quicker than you can say password 123. But with private internet access, your data stays safe and sound, even on sketchy networks. Their world-class server infrastructure encrypts your connection, making your information as bulletproof as Godzilla. And here's the kicker. Have you ever missed out on binge watching your favorite shows because of regional restrictions? With private internet access, you can wave goodbye to geo-blocks and say hello to unlimited content from around the globe. From streaming services to online deals, private internet access lets you access it all with just a click of a button. And with support for all major platforms, you can protect every device in your household or workspace. And did I forget to mention their commitment to privacy? With over 30 million downloads, private internet access is the most transparent VPN provider out there. They never log your data, and their no logs policy has stood the test of time. Plus, signing up for private internet access is risk-free, with their 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support at your fingertips. Speaking from personal experience, this is the best VPN that I've ever used. So why wait? Protect your digital life today with private internet access. You can use my referral code www.piavpn.com/firewood to get 83% off private internet access with 4 months free. You heard that right. 4 months free. Remember, when it comes to your privacy, don't leave it to chance. Choose private internet access. The King Kong that appeared in Edo, 1938. In 1938, a two-part Japanese monster film called The King Kong That Appeared in Edo was released in Japanese cinemas. The story revolves around a woman's mysterious abduction and her father's desperate attempts to ransom her back. In the movie, the villain employs a trained ape, dubbed King Kong, to carry out the kidnapping. The film was split into 2 parts. The first, The King Kong That Appeared in Edo, the episode of transformation, premiered on March 31st, 1938. Followed by the second part, The King Kong That Appeared in Edo, the episode of Gold, a week later on April 7th, 1938. Each part ran approximately 75 minutes based on the quantity and length of the reported film reels. Many speculate that the title, King Kong, might have just been a promotional tactic to piggyback off of the success of the American King Kong film that was released 5 years prior. It's believed that the ape's size fluctuated throughout the film from being a human to being kaiju-sized. Unfortunately, it's very likely that this movie was also destroyed in the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki near the end of World War II. As a result, the film is considered to be lost media. The King Kong Show, 1966 to 1969. The King Kong Show was a popular animated series that aired from 1966 to 1969 on ABC. It was very loosely inspired by the 1933 film, and it was a collaboration between Rankin Bass and Toei Animation. You probably know Rankin Bass as the production company behind the stop-motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer series, while Toei is more well known for producing shows like One Piece and Dragon Ball. Now, this may seem like an odd collaboration, but Rankin Bass actually had a ton of animation studios established in Japan, and the 2 studios had a history of working with one another. The King Kong Show featured 3 segments within a 30-minute time slot. There were 2 King Kong cartoons and a segment called Tom of Thumb, which were parodies of spy movies. In the King Kong segments, we follow Professor Bond and his family, including daughter Susan and son Bobby, exploring the mysterious Mondo Island. On this island, they encounter various villains and dinosaurs. The humans end up befriending Kong, and he acts as an ally of sorts, protecting them from any threats on the island. Meanwhile, the Tom of Thumb segments follow Tom, a maintenance man shrunk by a ray, and his assistant Swingin' Jack as they attempt secret missions for their country. Only 10 full episodes of this series have actually been released on DVD, leaving many episodes unreleased. You can find some episodes online, while others are just entirely gone. What you're seeing right now is a list of all the episodes, courtesy of the Lost Media Wiki. So Unfortunately, the majority of episodes are considered to be lost media. Lost media is so fascinating to me. The mystique of knowing something very likely exists, but knowing it can't be found is simultaneously obnoxious, but fascinating nonetheless. I really want to see someone find all of the lost media mentioned in this video. And if there's a piece of King Kong lost media that I missed, let me know down below in the comments, and I might make a part 2. There's a lot of kaiju lost media in general, and, you know, I already made a Godzilla lost media, so feel free to go check that out. With all of that out of the way, I'm Cole McCormick. You're watching Firewood Media. Consider becoming a member to support the channel. For just $1.99 a month, you'll receive member shoutouts and your name featured as an executive producer in all of our film projects. There's also going to be member-only videos as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes content that you won't find anywhere else. For example, there's a member-only video where I talk about Godzilla -1 for 15 minutes. It's sort of a first impression, my thoughts on type video rather than an actual review. So if that intrigues you, be a member. You can watch the video right now. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's just an extra perk for anyone that wants to support the channel while also getting to see some unique content. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.